good afternoon. Welcome to today's session of Creative Corner. We're going to be working on some Acrylic Galaxies. As usual, let's go ahead and review our supplies and then we'll jump into our workshop. Alright everyone, so for our supplies today, you'll need some paintbrushes, a sponge, new or used if you would like to. I'm going to use some tape to secure the canvas panel onto my surface so that way it doesn't shift around. We'll need some acrylic paint, and of course we'll need a cup of water to clean off the paintbrushes too as well. If you're interested in doing this at home, we do have some supply kits available, and in your supply kit you'll receive a 5x7 canvas panel. You can find that available on the homepage of our website. And then we're going to use some newsprint too as well to protect our surface so it doesn't get dirty too as well. Starting out with our canvas panel, what we're going to do is get our tape. Just get a couple pieces, you don't really need much. But we're going to roll them and then stick them on the back of the canvas panel. And you could go ahead and put that onto your newsprints. That way when you work on your painting, it's not going to shift around, so it makes it more easier to work with. First, we're going to go ahead and paint the canvas panel black, and then we're going to go ahead and add color. Before you proceed with the next portion of the painting, what you want to make sure is that your paint is dry, so that way it doesn't smear into your other paints. But I kind of did this for the artist trading cards a few weeks ago, but we're kind of doing this on a larger scale. So for galaxies, if out of acrylic paint, what I like to do is dab a little paint here and there to kind of get the overall shape of what I would like to do. And I always want to start with the darkest color of the spectrum I'm doing, and then grab the sponge. What we're going to do is dab the paints all over, mixing the directions of the sponge too as well. And it really doesn't matter if you use the flat side or the edge side, just as long as you mix the paint. And you want to make sure to keep doing this while the paint is still wet, so that way it mixes with the color beneath it too as well. Alright, so as you can see, I added too much of the light pink, so it didn't really mix well with the colors beneath it. But what you can always do is add more of the darker colors, also some black too as well to cover up some of the how much paint you've added. But we're going to go ahead and let that dry for a bit. Work with the second color. I'm going to be adding some green to this too as well. There we go, everyone. So what I went ahead and added more of the other colors I was using to the pink side, just to dull down the brightness of it a little bit. And then I added the green too as well, to the overall painting. Up next, we're going to go ahead and use some white to add in the stars. And it's your choice if you want to add planets too as well. But we're going to go ahead and add the stars up next. For the stars part of our little acrylic galaxy, you're going to need a paintbrush as well as white. And the easiest way to do this is to grab a plate, add a little bit of your white, and then you're also going to add a little bit of water to your white paint. It just makes it easier to spread around onto your panel. And you don't want to add too much water because you don't want it really too thin. But you want enough water to make sure that it spreads easier onto your canvas panel. So once you have your paint, you can knock it against the surface. If you do this bluntly, you should have more paint splatters that are bigger in size. What you can also do is get a straight surface, an old card, credit card would work, the paint tube, I don't know why I was saying tube, but paint tube too as well. Get the edge a little bit wet, and then just brush your paintbrush on the side. And once you're satisfied with your overall look too as well, what you can do is grab a smaller paintbrush . Alright everyone, so like I mentioned, what you want to do is get some of your white paint, mix it in with a little bit of water, but not too much water because you still want it, the paint to have a thick consistency. You can hit it against any hard surface to get this paint splatter effect, which kind of creates the galaxy too as well. So, sorry for that. Once you have done that, you can get your paint too, as well as make your stars. I added a few comets too as well. But this is it for our Acrylic Galaxy. Oh, if you want, you can also add planets to this too as well. I opted out of that, but it's entirely up to you if you would like to do that too. Thank you for joining me on today's workshop. We went ahead and worked some on Acrylic Galaxies using canvas panels, some acrylic paint, and then your imagination too as well. If you want to request a supply kit, as I mentioned, we do have some available. You can find the link available on the homepage of our website, which I'll put into the video description down below. Be sure to subscribe to all of our social media platforms. We have everything from Facebook to YouTube and everything in between. You can also find that available on the homepage of our website. Be sure to share your art with us, and if you have any questions, feel free to let us know.